Today on UPSC Polity View, as rulers and governments across the world are constantly framing the new laws and constitutions that frame and impact millions of people around the world, several beliefs and philosophies come into the forefront. One of them is Marxism. Hello and welcome to UPSC Polity View at upscpractice.com. Let's learn about Marxism. Marxism is a method of socio-economic analysis that uses a materialistic interpretation of historical development, better known as historical materialism, to understand class relations and social conflict, as well as a dialectical perspective to view social transformation. Marxism originates from the works of 19th century German philosophers Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. As Marxism has developed over time into various branches and schools of thought, there is currently no single definitive Marxist theory. Some Marxist schools of thought place greater emphasis on certain aspects of classical Marxism while rejecting or modifying other aspects. Some schools have sought to combine Marxian concepts and non-Marxian concepts, which has then led to contradictory conclusions. It has been argued that there is a movement towards the recognition of historical and dialectical materialism as the fundamental conceptions of all Marxist schools of thought. This view is rejected by some post-Marxists such as Ernesto Laclau and Chantal Mouffe, who claim that history is not only determined by the mode of production but also by consciousness and will. Marxism has had a profound impact on global academia, having influenced many fields including anthropology, archaeology, art theory, criminology, cultural studies, economics, education, ethics, film theory, geography, historiography, literary criticism, media studies, philosophy, political science, psychology, science studies, sociology, urban planning, and theater. Let's see the overview of this concept of Marxism. Marxism seeks to explain social phenomena within any given society by analyzing the material conditions and economic activities required to fulfill human material needs. Marxism assumes that the form of economic organization or mode of production influences all other social phenomena, including wider social relations, political institutions, legal systems, cultural systems, aesthetics, and ideologies. These social relations, together with the economic system, form a base and superstructure. As forces of production, that is, technology, improve, existing forms of organizing production become obsolete and hinder further progress. Karl Marx wrote, "At a certain stage of development, the material productive forces of society come into conflict with the existing relations of production." Or, this merely expresses the same thing in legal terms, with the property relations within the framework of which they have operated hitherto. From forms of development of the productive forces, these relations turn into their fetters. Then begins an era of social revolution. These inefficiencies manifest themselves as social contradictions in society, which are in turn fought out at the level of class struggle. Under the capitalist mode of production, this struggle materializes between the minority who own the means of production and the vast majority of the population who produce goods and services. Starting with the conjectural premise that social change occurs as a result of the struggle between different classes within society who contradict one another, a Marxist would conclude that capitalism exploits and oppresses the proletariat. Therefore, capitalism will inevitably lead to a proletarian revolution. In a socialist society, private property as a means of production would be replaced by cooperative ownership. A socialist economy would not base production on the creation of private profit but on the criteria of satisfying human needs, that is, production for use. Friedrich Engels explained that the capitalist mode of appropriation, in which the product enslaves first the producer and then the appropriator, is replaced by the mode of appropriation of the products that is based upon the nature of the modern means of production. Upon the one hand, direct social appropriation as means to maintenance and extension of production; on the other, direct individual appropriation as means of subsistence and of enjoyment. Marxian economics and its proponents view capitalism as economically unsustainable and incapable of improving the living standards of the population due to its need to compensate for falling rate of profit by cutting employees' wages and social benefits while pursuing military aggression. The socialist mode of production would succeed capitalism as humanity's mode of production through revolution by workers. According to Marxian crisis theory, socialism is not an inevitability but an economic necessity. Let's learn about the term Marxism. The term was popularized by Karl Kautsky, who considered himself an orthodox Marxist during the dispute between the orthodox and revisionist followers of Marx. Kautsky revisionist rival Edward Bernstein also later adopted use of the term. Engels did not support the use of the term Marxism to describe either Marx's or his own views. He claimed that the term was being abusively used as a rhetorical qualifier by those attempting to cast themselves as real followers of Marx while casting others in different terms such as Lassalleans. In 1882, Engels claimed that Marx had criticized self-proclaimed Marxist Paul Lafargue by saying that if Lafargue's views were considered Marxist, then one thing is certain, and that is what I am not Marxist. Historical materialism. Marxism uses a materialist methodology referred to by Marx and Engels as the materialist conception of history and later better known as historial materialism to analyze the underlying causes of social development and change from the perspective of the collective ways in which humans make their living. Marx's account of the theory is in a set of manuscripts, The German Ideology 1845, and in the preface a contribution to the Critique of Political Economy 1859. All constituent features of a society are assumed to stem from economic activity, forming what is considered as the base of and superstructure. The base and superstructure metaphor describes the totality of social relations by which humans produce and reproduce their social existence. According to Marx, the sum total of the forces of production accessible to men determines the condition of society and forms a society's economic base. The base includes the material forces of production such as labor, means of production, and relations of production, that is, the social and political arrangements that regulate production and distribution. From this base rises a superstructure of legal and political forms of social consciousness that derive from the economic base that conditions both the superstructure and the dominant ideology of a society. Conflicts between the development of material productive forces and the relations of production provokes social revolutions, whereby changes to the economic base leads to the social transformation of the superstructure. This relationship is reflexive, in that the base initially gives rise to the superstructure and remains the foundation of a form of social organization. Those newly formed social organizations can then act again upon both parts of the base and superstructure, so that rather than being static, the relationship is dialectic, expressed and driven by conflicts and contradictions. Engels clarified the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. Freeman and slave, patrician and plebeian, lord and serf, guildmaster and journeyman, in a word, oppressor and oppressed, stood in constant opposition to one another, carried on uninterrupted, now hidden, now open fight, a fight that each time ended either in a revolutionary reconstitution of society at large or in the common ruin of the contending classes. Karl Marx considered recurring class conflicts as the driving force of human history. As such, conflicts have manifested themselves as distinct transitional stages of development in Western Europe. Accordingly, Marx designated human history as encompassing 4 stages of development in relations of production. Stage 1. Primitive communism, that is, cooperative tribal societies. Stage 2. Slave society, that is, development of tribal to city-state in which aristocracy is born. Stage 3. Feudalism. Aristocrats are the ruling class while merchants evolve into the bourgeois. Stage 4. Capitalism. Capitalists are the ruling class who create and employ the proletariat. While historical materialism has been referred to as a materialist theory of history, Karl Marx did not claim to have produced a master key to history, and that the materialist conception of history is not an historico-philosophic theory of the march general, imposed by fate upon every people, whatever the historic circumstances in which it finds itself. In a letter to editor of the Russian newspaper, he explained that his ideas are based upon a concrete study of the actual conditions in Europe. Thank you very much for listening to this discussion on Karl Marx and the history of Marxism. For more such discussions, get the UPSC Practice app from the App Store.